So today, I decided since the last day of the year that I would rank all of the platinums I got in 2023. Starting off, we got Control. Honestly, this game was probably one of the best Remedy games I have ever played. I played it in anticipation for Alan Wake 2, and honestly, it did not disappoint me. The collectibles were easy to find. Most of the trophies were combat, a little grindy ones, but nothing too bad. The story was great. I'd say I'd have to say honestly it would go into mindless fun. Next, we have A Plague Tale Innocence. This game was honestly amazing, blew me away. Stealth based action game. Have to use sparing resources and your tools to your advantage in every single encounter that you have. Multiple different ways to take on fights. Honestly, there was a lot of times where you were forced to use something, and that was kind of annoying. But other than that, it was a great game. There wasn't too many collectibles, but you did have to find those finite resources over and over again and only upgrade your sling and your equipment. You couldn't upgrade anything else, or else you wouldn't have enough by the end of the game to get the platinum itself. But I would say that it is probably, I would, this is hard. I would say mindless fun again. Now we have Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Jesus Christ, I hated everything about this game. The story was terrible. The trophies were atrocious. I mean, one of the trophies was destroy 5,000 destructibles with your wagon. I literally sat there for at least 2.5 hours going around the same road over and over and over again. I felt like I was dying. No, no. You had to kick 50 enemies off trains. I figured out too late that doing a certain way of kicking off the train wasn't actually the way you were supposed to kick off the train. So then I had to kick another 50 enemies off the train a different way. And then even then, no, I just can't. No, trash. It's trash. Little Nightmares 2. The one of the best puzzle horror games I've ever played. Didn't play the first one. Had never even heard of this game until I saw it on sale like 3 weeks ago. Picked it up, immediately fell in love with it. Was one of the easiest plots I've gotten. Just it was amazing. And the ending was wild. Did Control a second time because I loved it so much. Nothing really to say about it again, but same spot. Doom Eternal. Man, oh man, what a game. The combat was great. The enemy variety in the base game was great. Everything about this game was pretty fun up until the DLC. Then it started to get a little annoying. They kept the same enemies. I mean, then they were just like, hey, let's superpower them, make them supersonic speed and 20 times more health. They'll love that. And I mean, the multiplayer wasn't bad. The campaign was amazing. Then the ending to the DLC was just, it was just wild. But this goes in God tier. Now we got Nier Automata. Honestly, one of the best games that I have played this year. Never played it before. Kept getting a repeated crash at a pipe at the beginning of Act 2, right before the alien ship, over and over and over again. So I kind of had to stop playing it, came back to it, still had the crashing, but I figured out a way to get past it and then completely fell in love with this game. Great game, great story, great gun, great combat. Honestly, I love it. I love it. God tier. Resident Evil 3. I heard this game was really hated among the community. Honestly, I did not hate it at all. I loved it. It was just like Resident Evil 2 Remake, but with a dodge mechanic. And I thought I thought Mr. X was scary. No. Inferno Tyrant full sprinting at you is the stuff of nightmares. This game goes into God tier. Persona 5. Never would I have thought that one day I would like a turn based JRPG. Honestly, this game blew me away. I loved it. I loved everything about it. I cannot wait to play it again. Such a great game. Cannot recommend it enough. Goes into God tier. Honestly, I would love to say that I liked Infamous. I really do. But as many collectibles as there were, the story was pretty mid. Honestly, it's pretty dated as well. I I don't know. I don't really like the game. I don't hate the game. I picked it up for a little bit, got a couple trophies, put it down, platinumed at least two other games, and then came back and decided why not? I'll just put it in grindy. My personal game of the year, Alan Wake 2. Love this game. Saga was amazing. Alan was amazing. The music in this game was amazing. Wasn't very scary at all. Honestly, they had a bunch of cheap jump scares, but that did not take away from the game itself. It goes in God tier. Words cannot express enough how much I love this game. Now we got an absolute classic, Far Cry 3. One of the best, if not the best, Far Cry that has ever been made. They have not been able to top it. I had to play it again just for the platinum. Beautiful game, beautiful setting. Voss was an amazing villain. I mean, Jason Brody's a savage. Great game, great game. But it's gonna go on a mindless fun. Now we got It Takes Two. This game was really good. A lot of miscellaneous trophies. The game itself was not bad. It was pretty easy puzzles. But the most fun part about it was me and my co-op partner. Once we found out that we could kill each other, we continuously killed each other for like an hour and a half. It was great fun. It's good times, but good story, bad trophies is where it goes. Now we got an absolute classic in God of War 2. Amazing game, action packed start to finish. Story was there, I guess, but it was just amazing and really really funny just seeing everybody getting murked by Kratos as usual. Definitely goes in God tier. Next we got Unity. Definitely was a lot better than Syndicate, even though there was at least 400 chests I had to collect. That part sucked. The story was not bad. The parkour was probably some of the best I've played. It actually took skill to master. It wasn't just you can climb on anything like the new games. And I mean, it's definitely going. It has to go in grindy. Next, we got my new favorite Metal Gear Solid game, Metal Gear Solid 5. Amazing gameplay, amazing gunplay, beautiful graphics for a 2014 game. Very, very grindy though. Wasn't necessarily hard, but getting all the S ranks and mission tasks was a hassle. The online was dead, so that was no problem whatsoever. I had no fear of getting rated back, but goes in grindy. Next, we got an absolute classic from the PlayStation Portable. Siphon Filter Dark Mirror was a very, very quick platinum. All it took was beating the game. It took about 3 hours. Was interesting to say the least. The story was not really there. The gunplay was terrible. But I mean it was a free plat, so I guess mindless fun. The Walking Dead Definitive Edition. I love the first game. I like the second game. Did not really like Michonne, the third game, or the fourth game that much. They weren't bad, but they weren't necessarily as great as the first two. So this one is hard to really choose on which tier it goes in. So I'm just gonna say good story, bad trophies for the last three. Next, we got another PlayStation Portable classic game, Siphon Filter Logan Shadow. Honestly, did not like this game. Was just did it for the free plat. Took about 2.5 hours. Going to trash. Resident Evil 4. What a goated game. Beautiful remake. Just top the second and third game. Love it to death. Would platinum it again if I could, but it has to go in God tier. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Used to be my favorite Assassin's Creed game. Wouldn't necessarily say that now. The map was beautiful. I loved riding around on a horse through the map. Did not like the ship, combat, or even traversing the ship. But I mean, the story was pretty mid, I'd say. The boss fights were very tanky. The regular enemies were very tanky. It was honestly felt like it was just a bloat run time. You would hit an enemy like 1,000 times, but it doesn't take away from it being a decent game. So I'm just gonna put grindy. The Order 1886. Not really much to say about this game. It was a very mid-tier game. Didn't hate it, didn't like it that much. The story was okay, not really. Um, they left on a cliffhanger. I'll probably just say trash. Life is Strange Before the Storm. This game, I went in with high hopes from loving the first game. Honestly, I did not like it nearly as much. The hype kind of died down after like the second act. The ending was pretty sad, but I mean, I just couldn't really care less after playing that all the way up until that point. I mean, I don't know. Trash, honestly. Next, we got Jedi Survivor. What a beautiful game. What a beautiful game. I love this game. Collectibles were not bad. There was only 100 of them. I mean, the story was pretty good. There was some points that kind of didn't make sense, but I mean, overall, it blended together very nicely. Cal Kestis is amazing. The combat was great. I loved using the dual lightsabers. I mean, the gang was back together. Let's go. It's dope. It's dope. It's dope. Jedi Fallen Order. Great game. The start of Survivor. Pretty great. It was like a Souls like Star Wars game. Was very easy to learn. The parry mechanics were not that hard. The combat was very easy. The dodging was very easy. I mean, it was great. It was fun. Most people I heard did not like the backtracking, but I had absolutely zero problem with it whatsoever. So I'm gonna put that in mindless fun. This game right here, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. I used to think I liked this game, but after going for the platinum, honestly, I have a newfound hatred for this game. So this game just goes in trash. Now we got Horizon Zero Dawn. Never heard anything about this game. Never really wanted to try this game, but it was free on PlayStation Plus, so I decided to try it out. And I mean, I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was the best game I ever played, but I did like the unique take on the robot dinosaurs. Story was pretty mid-tier. Didn't really like Aloy that much. She was okay. Very interesting. The side characters were wild in this game, but it's going to mindless fun. The Last of Us Part 2. Man, never ever played The Last of Us because I never had a PlayStation my entire life. Got one this year. First games I played were The Last of Us Part 1 and 2. Oh my god. I love this game. This is my probably all time, I don't know, top three game of all time. I've played it at least 7 times this year alone. I love it so much. It is going in God tier. If there was a tier above God tier, it would have its own tier, but it's gonna have to settle with God tier. Borderlands 1, great game, classic. Love this game. Platinum only took me about 15 to 16 hours. Wasn't that difficult. The grind for the levels was not hard at all. Did it very quickly. Um, Mine was fun, honestly. Horizon Forbidden West, got it free on PlayStation Plus. Didn't really like it as much as the first one, honestly, was not very good. The story was pretty bland. Uh, the ending was probably the cheesiest and most overplayed scenario I've ever seen. But I mean, it's gonna have to go in trash, honestly. This is my first Ratchet and Clank game ever. Loved it. I honestly want to play the other ones, but I really don't have a way to. And it was pretty easy, I'd like to say. It wasn't very hard. The collectibles, there was like 20 of them. Story was great. I liked playing as that one girl. I can't remember her name, but good game. Elden Ring. Loved this game. Had to platinum it twice. I mean, it's probably one of the best green games ever made, honestly. But I mean, still not better than Bloodborne, but goes in God tier. Dead Space remake was just honestly a million times better than the first one. I love that we got to hear Gunnar Wright as Isaac Clarke again. It's been at least 10 years. And I mean, honestly, he just did not disappoint. The man is a GOAT. The game is great. God tier. We got Miles Morales. I mean, it was good for what it was. I like the Venom powers. It's just samey Spider-Man. Don't get me wrong, I do not hate the Spider-Mans, but it's all the same, really. It's that Arkham formula with Spider-Man on it. Don't hate it, but it's mindless fun. And we got Spider-Man, the original. Honestly, very good game for what it's worth. At the time, it was a breath of fresh air, but I mean, yet again, it's just that Arkham formula with Spider-Man skin over it. Do love the web swinging, but I mean, the platinum was very, very easy. It was just activate radio towers, collect collectibles, and do all the side quests and stuff. I mean, same as everything else, but good game. Mindless fun. The GOAT, God of War 3. Absolutely amazing game. Started off from the ending of God of War 2. I mean, just literally goated from start to finish. Bro was on demon time the entire game. The combat was great. The weapons were cool. Loved it. God tier. We got God of War Ragnarok. Absolutely amazing game. Great story. Great cast of actors. I mean, honestly, they really just start off the beginning of the game strong as always. The Thor fight was great. Oh, dude, it's just the God of War games are just peak, honestly. Now we got one of my top 5 games of all time, Kingdom Hearts 2. I mean, this game was, I want to put it in a God tier because of how much I love this game, but it has to go in grindy. The story, I mean, is there. Combat was amazing. The super boss is amazing. Lingering Will was one of the hardest bosses I've ever fought. Love this game. And we got Uncharted 4 Legacy of Thieves collection. 4 was amazing. I didn't really like Lost Legacy that much, but I toughed through it and did those as well so I get the platinum. Crushing was not very hard. I did the crushing and the speedrun trophy at once. Very, very easy platinum. Don't know why it only has 1% of players, but I mean, it has to go in God tier. We got Resident Evil 7. Great game. Easy platinum. Madhouse was very, very easy. Was not difficult whatsoever. Did it in like 2 hours. I mean, honestly, it's just so much better than Resident Evil 6. I love this game. Revitalize the franchise. It's going to go in mindless fun. The GOAT, the greatest of all time. Uncharted 2. Nothing much to say here. The game speaks for itself. God tier. First time ever playing Demon Souls. Did not hate it. The bosses were insane. The run-ups were insane. The enemies did a million damage and always one-shotted me. I had to do 4 playthroughs. It was very, very, very crazy. I mean, it's gonna go, and honestly, getting the spells and everything was very grindy, so it's going to grindy. The rings as well. Did not really like Uncharted 1 as much as Uncharted 2 or 4. I didn't start it at all, but I'd have to put it in. Yeah, this is tough. I'm gonna have to say good story, bad trophies. I mean, most of it was just combat related and collectibles, but that's where it sits. Now we got Ghost of Tsushima, the GOAT. The Wouldn't say it got robbed in 2020 because I love The Last of Us Part 2, but this game definitely did surprise me, and it was like an easier Sekiro to me, if I'm being quite honest. Very, very simple to learn. Had great combat, great visuals. Very, very good game. Uncharted 3. Everyone hates this game for some reason, but I love it. Mindless fun it goes. Nothing really much to say about it. In my opinion, the best Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Origins. Probably one of the grindiest trophies I've done. 200 locations across the entire map. Was absolutely insane. Loved it except for that part. We got Borderlands 3. The story was pretty garbage, honestly. The gunplay and the movement was insane. It was very fun to grind for loot, get very OP to fight super bosses. The Revolter is absolutely insane. So this is going in mindless fun. Resident Evil 2, the GOAT. Nothing much to say about this game. Tyrant did freak me out a little bit, but I started getting the hang of it, started making routes around him. The story was there. It was okay. Ava was chill. The gunplay was stupid. Stupid good. I mean, the game was great. Bosses were great. Everything about this game is great. God tier. Life is Strange 2. Not even gonna give my opinion on that. Just gonna put that in trash. We got Life is Strange 1. Not that bad of a game. Did like it a lot. Love the rewind mechanic. It was very new. Reminded me a lot of OG Walking Dead style game. I mean, Max was a cool character. Didn't really like Chloe that much. Good story, bad trophies. A lot of collectibles. Yet another game that I love dearly. And I must say, The Last of Us Part 1 is great. And it definitely fits the good story, bad trophies. Now we got Spider-Man 2. Love this game. It was great. The combat was pretty much the same as the first two. But I mean, still, the movement was insane. The story was a lot better. I did like the Sinister Six, but it is, I mean, it's, as I've been saying, it's really just Arkham. But Spider-Man definitely wasn't my game of the year. It goes in. Mine was fun. It was a great game. Didn't hate it. Loved it, honestly, but that's my list. So, well, that's my tier list. Hope you guys liked it. I know I just yapped for a minute. Hopefully you guys don't hate my rankings. They are mine. It's my opinion. But, I mean, maybe next year, if I get as many as I did this year, I can do another video. I don't know. This was very taxing, but hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.